Hello, welcome to Subjective Insights. This last 3-4 weeks, I've been a bit of a naughty boy. I've caved into my vices and given into the kind of depressive apathy that I'm prone to. I find my moods and my motivations are cyclical, and it's like a sine wave. Sometimes I'm up, sometimes I'm down. When I'm up, I'm really motivated, and when I'm down, I can barely be fucked to do anything, and I just hide away in my room, punching myself in the face until my eyes are red. But what I've noticed is that now, when I'm in my slump, when I'm in the pit, I'm much more capable, and I do much more than I used to do when I was on my high. So it's a sine wave that tracks a kind of upward progress or an upward trajectory. And I think this is the natural order of things, right? I think there is this myth or this ideal pushed in culture at the moment that progress has to be a kind of linear, a straight line going up. And it's got to be perfect, or at least that's pushed by certain mentalities. I suffer from social anxiety, so when I'm in my slump, that anxiety gets even worse. When I'm in my slump, the anxiety turns into a kind of reclusive, apparent sullenness, that makes me just scared of going outside, and it makes my mind always come up with excuses not to go to the gym, not to go outside. And it's only I'd only force myself to go to work and stuff like that, but now I'm forcing myself to go to the gym twice a week, and it's taught me things, right? It's taught me that voice in your head is constantly making excuses, like saying, "Oh, Chris, you didn't sleep well last night. You're tired. You won't have fun in the gym. Oh, Chris, you skipped a meal. You didn't eat properly yesterday. You shouldn't go in. You're feeling weak. Oh, Chris, it always comes up with all these excuses." But the main excuse it uses is the perfectionism excuse, right? It will say, "Oh, you fucked up. You missed a day. Now you might as well bloody fail. What's the bloody point? You ain't got a perfect sheet anymore. Fuck's sake, what are you gonna do? Just quit. What's the point?" And so the striving for perfectionism is really a front for failure, for wanting failure. How was I going to say? Yeah, so it's taught me that I go in, and no matter how I'm feeling, I get in, I do a couple of sets, and I feel good. And the worry in the head, those excuses that the mind comes up with, it tries to project threats out, right? And what you learn when you call its bluff by actually going out and doing stuff when you're feeling like shit, when you're feeling really unfunctional, is you learn that your feeling of functionality, your feeling about your capacity to perform and do stuff, has nothing at all to do with your actual capacity to perform and do stuff. I could use a metaphor, right? Say if I'm talking to a Christian crowd. Within Christianity, you have a lot of the Christians, they want to feel an assurance of salvation, and they would rather have that assurance of salvation rather than a secure salvation that they're not feeling assured of, and really you can see the whole of Christianity as kind of each person kind of like cuddling each other, going, "It's all right, you're saved, you're in the right group, see, you're a Methodist, you're saved, you're all fine, you're a Christian, you're not a Muslim, you're saved, you're fine." I forgot I was going to link that to that. But on the up and down progressing, I think it's natural. The seasonal structure is you have spring and summer, where apparently all the plant life and the trees really fructify, they grow and they expand, apparently. And then you have autumn and winter, where it's all quiet and it seems that everything's dying. But the funny thing is, the apparent growth of spring and summer is all foliage, to capture the sun's rays. And it's during autumn and winter, when apparently trees are dead, that they put on girth, which is a growth that lasts years and years and years. Whereas that green stuff you see on the trees goes within by fall, doesn't it? And that's applicable to weight training as well. See, when you're in the gym, you work out, you get a pump on, and apparently you get a bit bigger, but that's a kind of temporary size increase due to blood flow into the muscles. And it's when you're sat on your ass doing fuck all, watching TV, eating and sleeping, that the muscles actually get bigger, which produces a lasting growth. So this idea that you've got to constantly be balls to the wall, constantly be maximally motivated and maximally exerting yourself in order to reach any goal it's just false. It's not true. Just don't listen to the perfectionist in you. I'm talking to me here. Don't listen to it. Just if you fuck up, if you fall down, just get back up and carry on. I mean, if you take 1 step forward and 3 steps back and then take 1 step forward, that's a win. What I'm seeing in my life though, it's more like I take 3 steps forwards. Sometimes I'll take 1 or 2 steps back and then 3 steps forwards or 4 steps forwards, then maybe 5 steps back. But the actual thing, like over the last year, I'm rambling a bit, but over the last year, I've only kind of not worked out in total about, I'll say, a month and a few weeks. Some of those for injuries and some of those because I was being lazy. But that's out of a year. So when I slump now, and my brain goes, oh no, you fucked up now, what's the point, you've lost all that progress. My head's like, no, I ain't lost no progress. It takes months for muscles to start like atrophying. Goodbye.